getting better at having to do both of them just to start the Riverside and to do the YouTube. It's getting there. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Website 101 podcast, our lunch bites, our YouTube live that we do on the first and third Wednesday of every month. My name is Amanda. Hey, everyone. And with me is Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Amanda. Good to be here. Unfortunately, Mike's a little bit busy, so he won't be able to join us today.
Bring the microphone closer to your face.
I just doing that right now. I could tell what you were going to say.
Because I was visually indicating what I was about to do.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, surviving this extended, brutal cold spell.
It's not fun. I'm glad that we haven't had another big dump of snow.
Uh, yeah, you know what's even more fun?
Mm,
I have an ice dam on my roof.
yeah.
Do you know
You,
what that is?
yep. But
Okay,
please do explain it to our topical viewers.
I just learned what an ice dam is because
Yeah.
I've got one. So we got a ton of snow. What was it? 56 centimeters or
61
60?
centimeters downtown.
All right, let's say 60 centimeters. So that's 2 feet for our American listeners of snow. And then what happens is that as it warms up and freezes, the snow melts and seeps into your roof. And the reason it freezes is that your attic is not well insulated. And I don't actually have an attic.
It's the reverse. The reason the snow piles up on the roof and then it starts melting from underneath, and the reason it melts from
Yeah, that's what I
underneath
meant.
is because heat escaping from your house, usually due to poor insulation. But then because it's cold outside, like I think this morning it was like -7, feels like -11 Celsius. And this is like a warm day over the
Yeah,
last couple weeks.
yeah. So uh, we don't have an attic, and our house was built in the late 50s, early 60s. So I don't know when the last time the roof insulation was inspected. I can't go in because I'd actually have to open up a hole in the roof. There's
Yeah.
no attic. So over my son's bedroom, there's some dripping that has started, and we did some research after calling the roofer who replaced our roof in the fall because they're like, "Hey, we didn't have this problem until now. He's
Yeah.
coming tomorrow, but I'm not going to tell him what we researched in case I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting him to say, yeah, this is just you're going to have to do this and this. And one thing I learned is I should invest in a roof rake. And the next time it snows, you reach up and you pull the snow off the edges of the roof.
I do that with a hockey stick.
Yeah, we did it with one of those Swiffer mops,
Smart. Yeah.
but it was too late. It like what I should have done is when we got that big dump of snow a couple of weeks ago, is gone up, pulled up the ladder or reached up with my shovel and done it then. But now all the snow is crusty and it's hard to pull off. And I'm actually going to go out in the afternoon after I finish the tasks I have for today and see if I can do a bit of a better job.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want is rotting wood inside the house.
Yeah. No, for sure. For
So
sure.
yeah,
We
ice
don't,
dam on the roof. Woohoo!
yeah. We have I usually get a little bit of an ice dam off of the back porch that I have here up on the third floor where my office is. But it doesn't do anything inside. What it does is like, so pretend that this is the side of the house and then this is the gutter. And so it
Yeah.
like the ice ends up sort of coming down a bit past the gutter. And so when it drips, it doesn't drip in, and I end up getting these really long icicles, like just outside the door. And I'm pretty sure it's because they're these like nice to look at, but really like zero insulation French doors
Oh,
that are
right.
like
Yeah.
wood with these big glass, like huge glass panels in them. So it's like, and it's always right there that the icicles happen. So I'm pretty sure
Well,
that's where the
we've
majority of the heat is getting out.
we've lived in this house for 12 years now, and this was the first time we had this issue.
Yeah, it's definitely the new roof. Again, don't blame them. Don't
Well,
don't lead with that.
I am, but yeah.
Yeah.
So he's coming tomorrow. He could have come today, but my wife had to go into the office and she wants to be here for that. And honestly, I don't think there's anything they can do when there's snow frozen to the top of the roof. So it's just like get him to assess it and make sure that he's aware that something needs to be done and
Yeah.
he can schedule it when the snow melts or whenever. But he needs to know that, hey, you got to fix this because,
Yeah.
we paid you however many thousands of dollars.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So what else is new and exciting with Amanda today?
Uh, Trying to get some client work done. Gotta go up to Seneca and teach some JavaScript listener events.
Oh,
That's on the
fun
docket for
times.
today.
Yeah, I've actually been learning React myself,
How you
and
doing? How do you like it?
it's not as difficult or scary as I first thought it was. It actually
High
simplifies
level?
a
No.
lot of the JavaScript stuff for you.
Yeah.
The biggest gotcha that I keep finding is, when you update an event or some reactivity and you want to change classes and you use the curly braces to enter JavaScript mode. This is what
Mhm.
the video instructor says.
Yeah.
I I put the class name and I put that JavaScript mode stuff inside the quotes, which always ends up outputting it as a string. I
Yeah.
cannot seem to remember because if I actually just inside the JSX, if I'm just using classes, I can use the quotes, which is great. I just can never seem to remember that I need to set up like a ternary operator inside that without quotes outside of the curly braces. It's just
Yeah.
a mistake I keep making and I keep
It's
punching
almost like
myself
it's
in the
muscle
head.
memory.
Yeah, I know. It's the opposite of what I need to do when I'm doing stuff in Twig because I can put Twig code inside the quotes and it doesn't make
Mhm.
a difference. So that's how I just operate. And
Yeah.
now I'm gonna need to build up this new muscle memory. So yeah,
Yeah.
lots of fun.
Are you going to get into more advanced? I assume eventually you'll get into more advanced React stuff like with the hooks, like use event and the other ones.
Yeah, so I'm going through this Udemy course that I picked up, 84 hours of course, and I'm about 18 hours in right now, so almost 20%, 25%.
Cool.
And I think we kind of just got past the very basics of it
Hmm.
and then moving on to it. And there's a section near the end where you're using Next.js, and that was an add-on to the original course that whenever it was made.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna put in my time and hopefully I'll have it finished end of this month, early next month, depending
Nice.
on how much time I can fit in with, client work and what have
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard making time for yourself to just learn something for funsies.
Yeah, well, I think the key where I've failed in the past is I always get distracted by client work, which is good, but I'm just forcing myself to put at minimum an hour a day. And if I can do more, great. And that includes weekends. So
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing an hour or two as well. And it's helping me make continued progress. And, by doing it every day, I come back and I remember what was talked about in the earlier lessons.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is all good advice for any sort of developer trying to learn something, whether it's an in-person course like what Amanda teaches, or a video course that you watch on your own time, like I'm doing right now. And it could be for any sort of technology. Maybe you're learning PHP or Java or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I definitely find that anything tech related is learn by doing. Like you got to get in, you got to do the typing, you got to use your brain and think about what comes next. And
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, one of the things that I do in this course is if he's going through and doing something that is replicated from an earlier lesson, I'll pause the video and try and jump ahead, try and do it myself without listening to him.
mm,
Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Uh, and I will pause the video and just when I fall behind on my typing and make sure that I just type it all out myself because you got to build the muscle memory. Even
yeah,
if I'm just typing what I'm hearing him say, I don't want to go and copy and paste from the finished project. I
Yeah.
actually want to do it myself.
Yeah. No, it's all true. Yeah, to just sit there and have somebody talk at you, you'll absorb a little bit. To actually like type in the stuff yourself, you're going to learn a lot more. But then the bulk of it comes from, you try something and it doesn't work, and then you actually go and figure out why it didn't work.
Yeah, and 3 or 4 times I had that problem with turning a ternary operator into a string because it was inside the quotes. And I was like,
Yep.
I had AI the same thing every time. And I was like, now I know. I shouldn't make that mistake again.
Famous last words.
Yeah, but it's such a beginner mistake. But I am a beginner at React,
Yeah.
so I guess it makes sense.
Cool.
So yeah, that's my story.
Nice. Very nice. That's it. I really don't have anything else. You got anything? What's up with you?
Well, I yesterday in Slack I shared a podcast episode which we can share in the show notes when it goes up on YouTube. What was the title of the podcast? Okay, so it's CANADALAND podcast, which is typically a politics type of podcast, and obviously about Canada. But this episode was called "The Freelancer's Guide to Getting Revenge When You've Been Ripped Off." I was
Nice.
listening to this, and it starts off about 10 minutes, and the host, Jesse, is talking about how he had gotten ripped off ages ago doing something with claymation, and
Mm,
how he ends the story, and then he pulls on this guest who has these kind of guerrilla tactics for getting revenge on people who've ripped him off, and he's a creative doing images and things like that.
mhm.
So it's actually really fascinating and not necessarily something that's directly related to what we do as developers, but indirectly it is because developers or designers, sometimes you get a client that doesn't pay or changes scope in the middle of things. Like, has that ever happened to you?
God, yes. They're always trying to get more. And it's not to say that they're like maliciously trying to pull one over and trying to like get more out of you, but a lot of times it's like they just come up with a new idea. And it's like, oh, well, could we add this too? And oh, I didn't know that was possible, but because that is, can we do this as well? And like all of that is scope creep.
Oh yeah, the scope expands as they discover new possibilities.
Yeah.
Now, there are some clients who will try to take advantage of you, but
Yeah.
you'll see these kind of red flags early on, and once you have experience, it's easier to figure it out. Like if your new client is trash talking the previous developer, okay, maybe the previous developer was worth trash talking, but do you really want to trash talk them to your new developer?
Well, and especially if they go on and on and on and on about it.
Yeah, and the thing that'll seal the fact that it's a red flag is if it's happened to them more than once. If they've had a bad experience with more than one developer, the common experience is the client, not the
Yeah.
developers. Yeah.
No, for sure. I've also had experiences where, in that very first sort of initial intro, hi, this is me, this is what I do meeting, if they're
Yeah.
like immediately trying to already negotiate you down to a lower rate, massive red flag. Just turn around and walk away.
Oh, yeah. I don't like it. This is my rate. If it's too
Yeah.
expensive for you, go find somebody else. Don't try and negotiate me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I've been caught in that too many times.
I've had a couple of times where somebody's like, "Oh, this is a little bit expensive," and they keep going, and I'm like, "I don't think I'm going to get it." And sometimes I get it, and sometimes I don't. If they just mention, "Oh, it's a little bit higher than they were expecting," that's not the same as like trying to negotiate you down.
Agreed.
Because what I usually do if somebody's like turns out that maybe they're a bit price sensitive or if they've got a hard budget, then I can talk about phase one and phase two or must-haves versus would like to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, those kind of things are good. Oh, and listeners, don't forget, in an earlier season, which I'm going to go find out, before Amanda came, I believe, we had an episode about red flags. And I will open up the website and go find that right now.
Send me that link. I'll add it to the show notes.
And come on.
Or after.
Flags. Okay, my search is not working, but it's showing, it's not clicking. I've got a bug on the website. Okay. I gotta go fix that.
Yeah, that doesn't look good on us, Sean.
I discovered it. Season 4, episode 3.
Well, send me the link and I can add it to the show notes.
Excellent,
to the-
excellent.
Video notes, whatever.
Yeah, and add in that podcast episode from CANADALAND as well. I'm sure that some listeners will find it interesting to hear about the guerrilla techniques and the history of Jesse, the host, with his thing with claymation back in the day.
Cool. No, that sounds good. I got nothing else.
I'm kind of out too, so maybe we make it a short lunch bites, and
Sweet.
we need to wait for Mike, who's the glue that holds us together.
Yes, apparently yes. All right.
All right, listeners, thanks for dropping in. We'll see you again in 2 more weeks.
Bye.
Bye.